Or look, you can get me from the
This is going to be the
big and menacing, or old and
No, you look good. Same to you. Alright, so this part is the part I'm going to put in there. So you were recently supposed to be on Chael Sonnen's podcast. He's a ex-UFC fighter. Apparently, according to him, you no-showed the podcast after accepting a deposit to appear on the podcast. Do you have any response to him regarding that? He had some less than flattering words that he recently spoke about you on his podcast.
so like if I ask you, like if we get an interaction, I ask you what some of the things he called me,
Yeah.
you could read them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So,
Well, just ask me what are some of the things that...
should I start?
Yeah. You want to ask me what are...
Any beginning or
Okay,
intro?
I'll just re-ask that.
Okay.
So you were recently supposed to appear on Chael Sonnen's podcast, and for some reason you didn't appear on it. He then went on the podcast and proceeded to bash you, basically calling you a scumbag, a carny, a flake, accusing you of writing to him like he was drunk, like you were drunk rather, and accusing you of being illiterate or dumb. Do you have any response to this?
Well, you know, first of all, I really couldn't tell you his name right now. Is it Chael or Chael?
Chael.
Chael?
Yeah.
Chael.
Yes.
Yeah. And I had never heard of this guy. I mean, I've been in the business for, 40-some odd years now, and I've done podcasts. I mean, I've done Stone Cold's podcast and JR's podcast and Vince Russo's and so on and so on and so on. And obviously I'm doing this interview now, so I'm open to interviews, but it's not like I didn't want to go on his show. But he called me up and it was like, hey, I'm so-and-so. And yeah, I mean, who are you? I had no idea who this guy was. Not a clue. I'd never heard of him. And maybe I should apologize that because according to him, he's a big deal. And I couldn't even tell you what state he's from. But he came off pretty cocky and sure of himself, which is fine. But he offered me some money, and I said sure. And I think what happened in the process that he was under the assumption that I knew who he was and that he had a podcast and that we were going to go on at a certain time. Wednesday at 11 a.m. was his spot, and in terms of time differential, it would have been 9 o'clock in the morning his time, so and it was 11 a.m. my time. So if you take that out of the equation, out of our conversation that I had with Chael, I have no idea that I'm going to do a podcast or go on the air with him. And I'm thinking he's going to do an interview much like this where we sit down and we talk, or we get on the phone and you ask me questions and I answer them over the phone. And I've done, thousands of those. And so, in all honesty, and hey, it may be the fact that I'm of another generation that we didn't grow up with computers. When I graduated from the School of Business with a business degree from the 16th ranked business school in America, by the way.
You were also a center where you played football in the NFL as well as college football, so you had to have some intelligence to memorize plays.
Well, I had to have more than some, but the point is, centers are generally probably the brightest guy on the line, because they're the quarterback on the line. Quarterbacks are the brightest guys on the team, and they have to memorize hundreds and thousands of plays and different variations of plays, and it's probably not quite that extreme with the center, but you have a front side calls. If the play's going to the right, you have a front side call and a back side call, and the defense shifts, and then you have to call off and make new calls, front side, back side, with your front side guard, your back side guard, and your backside tackle. So, you know, to be a center in the NFL, yeah, you have to have some gray matter between your ears. So, you know, it's offensive to me that this, I know, MAA fighter, and I guess he just got beat by somebody, right?
John Jones, yeah.
John Jones, and he got beat pretty bad.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's not like his career is going well. I hear tell that that could be the end of his career, and I hope not. I hope he gets it back together and tries again.
He also recently failed a steroid test and was on a MMA steroid suspension.
So, well, you know, hey, I couldn't say anything about that, but you know, but you know what? As far as missing that first, I had said yes, I would accept his money. He made me a good offer for money for my time, and he basically ended the conversation abruptly and said, "Okay, you know, I'll be back at you." And I was assuming he was going to contact me with a time and a date, but I had no earthly idea that he had a podcast. I had no earthly idea who he was. It's just some guy had called me up and wanted to do an interview. Now that's my take on that first phone call, and you know, that's just the bottom line. That's the way it went. As far as the second interview goes, because everyone knows I didn't go on the second one, when he ranted on me, I'm not gonna stoop to his level and talk about some of the things he said, or respond in kind, but he wasn't very flattering to me about that first one.
No,
so,
one of the things he actually said was, even though he fought in the 206-pound weight class, was the only reason he can't kick your ass is because you're a dinosaur.
You know what? It's no secret. I'm having some health problems, but you know what? I'll leave it at that. And I'm 61 years old. I'm 6'4", barefoot. I'm 365 pounds. I can still bench press over 450. And if this kid, this little boy, and you know what? I would actually go a step further and say I will break a long-standing rule, and that I've had, that I don't pick on little people. But if this guy wants to come to Boulder, Colorado, I have a ring, and we can get in it and see if he can beat me up. Because you know what, I would shove his head so far up his, you know what, and send him back home. That little boy would get spanked. I'd turn him over my knee and spank him, and that's the bottom line. So Cal, you heard me. Come on down to Boulder. It's 7,000 feet. You'll enjoy the altitude.
And you mentioned your health problems. You were recently in a car accident that was pretty serious. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I had a rollover car accident. I was in my company car, and was actually coming back from Costco, and there was a series of turns, and I caught a turn too late and overturned coming back, and it actually rolled. The car rolled, and I probably, you know, the circumstances leading up to that accident. You know what? Let me back up. I rolled the car twice, and the whole top of the car was caved in where my head was, and my head looked like it. My eyes were black and blue. My nose was swollen. My forehead was swollen. My head was probably close to twice the normal size. And
is that what the mark is on your head there?
Yeah, but it's just, you know, just superficial at this point. But probably should have died in that accident, and it was just probably weeks, just literally 2 or 3 or 4 weeks prior to that accident. I was seeing a doctor, and I was in a medical center, and I was seeing my doctor, who was an MD, and a heart specialist came in my room, and said, Leon, we've been looking at your heart. And I said, well, you know, who are you? I didn't recognize the guy. And I won't name him at this point, but he said, Leon, you have 2 years to live. And we've been looking at your heart, and that's the deal. So, you know, he kind of, it wasn't much longer than that he came in the room, he said that, and he left. And obviously I had 1,000 questions, and I'm in the process of answering those questions at this point. So for me to start talking, you know, would probably be premature at this point. But you know, I've been in the gym. I feel okay. I mean, I feel pretty good, actually. So I don't know exactly what he's talking about, or if something will show itself up in weeks to come. But you know, right now I'm still trying to figure out exactly what's going on. So.
Are you still going to be wrestling?
Yeah, I've got bookings now, and I'm in the gym preparing for those bookings, autograph sessions, wrestling matches, and maybe I can get a match with Chael. If you think that would be fair? if I stuck his head in through the middle of the ring, I mean, he's only 175 pounds. I could choke slam the shit out of him. Can I say shit?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know what, Chael? That's the way we got to sell it. We got to have a wrestling match.
And I understand that you're going to be going to Atlanta to...
Yeah, you know what? In lieu of all of everything that's going on, Diamond Dallas Page contacted me, and if you're looking for a better guy, you won't find it. Diamond Dallas Page, he has a gift to give, and he has a need to give it. And he called me up and said, Leon, you know, I heard about your problems and your health problems, and we want to help. And he offered to come down. So January 2nd, I'm going to be in Atlanta and start working with Diamond, and we're going to get after it. The goal is to lose 100 pounds. So as I sit right now, I'm probably about 375, 380. So I don't think I'm fat, but I'm big. And I've been in the gym lifting and doing a lot of cardio, you know, 45 minutes an hour a day, walking, and then getting off the bike, and then doing a 20-minute walk, and then going to work out. So I have.
You still have an appetite.
Huh?
You still have your appetite.
You know what, I do, and it's I'm supposed to be losing weight, and suddenly, in lieu of all of this news and the gloom and doom and everything that's going on, it's like my appetite has increased, and man, I just keep eating and eating, and that's why I'm working out more, because I have to take all that food into something positive. So.
And also, you're not on any specific heart medications now, so maybe if you get on some heart medications, combined with the weight loss, your chances of living longer would increase.
You know, I can't comment right now about that, but I do know this, that I've had 3 different doctors in Boulder, you know, express the gloom and doom scenario, and you know, so it's the top of the second if we were talking about baseball, and I'm behind, so I'm my son has reached out, and we're gonna go down. I'm gonna go down. He lives in Dallas, and we're gonna go down to Dallas, and I'm gonna go to Dallas and see the doctors in Plano. And my understanding is that the Plano heart doctors are the renowned heart surgeons, heart specialists in the United States and perhaps the world. So I've got appointments down there, and then I'm off to see Dallas. So I'm not sitting on this. I'm proactive. I'm just refusing to die. I'm not going to die, and that's the mindset I have, and the mindset I will have forevermore. So.
And recently, guys like Jim Ross and Steve Austin have said you're definitely a future WWE Hall of Famer. And Mick Foley, since this stuff has come out about your heart, has actually publicly said you should be in the Hall of Fame for 2017 in Orlando. What are your thoughts on going into the WWE Hall of Fame possibly? Certainly you have the credentials not only for all your accomplishments in Japan and WCW, but you had a pretty decent WWE career, main eventing and pay-per-views and on Raw. So what are your thoughts on the WWE Hall of Fame?
You know, the one thing I'm not ashamed about is my wrestling career. And I shouldn't say that the one thing. I'm very proud of my football career. I'm very, very proud of my wrestling career. And, you know, it's weird. We talked about this earlier. I had always thought of myself as Leon White, the football player, the high school All-American, the college All-American, the guy that played in the Super Bowl. And actually, I have a ring on now. You know what? I'm going to show it off. You can see that right there. So, I don't know if he's zooming in on this. That's the Super Bowl, and then this is my name and number. And then the front is the bowl, and it just says we were NFC champions, LA Rams. So, there you go. It's a pretty ring. It's old school ring. It's not the big gaudy ones. They're bigger in the guy's hands. I kind of like this one because you could actually wear it. The other ones aren't really meant to wear. They're just keepsakes you bring out at dinner or something like that.
But you feel the WWE Hall of Fame ring would be a good match to that one?
You know what? I think it's I think it's premature for me to comment. I have hopes. I hope that every wrestler in America would want to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. It's an extremely, I was going to say it's an extremely prestigious honor to be given. But I just, no, I can't say anything right now.
But as far as
I hope, and I have dreams.
As far as you're aware, you're on good terms with the company.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, you know, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm gonna just cut this one there because I'm gonna.
Is that enough on Chael? I was trying to get back to Chael.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.